So welcome to our viewers to another conversation between Teryl and Cathie. Teryl, we want to talk about a slightly different take on the topic of work from home, because now so many of us are actually living at work. So do you have tips on how we should get through a day where we are working in our home environments and living in our work environments?
It is a challenge, and it's a challenge for your family. I mean, Cathie, we've been doing these vlogs for a while, and then you've got to go and tell your whole family, are the dogs barking? You know, there's a million different things that happen in your home environment that are different from that controlled environment, maybe a little bit more at the office. But there's also, I think you've pointed out, and so many of people have, that you kind of get stuck at your desk because you're not going into a meeting room. You're sitting in front of somebody on your computer. And the challenge around that is, are you doing what you need to do? So I started using my Fitbit a little bit there, of trying to see that I do, Fitbit suggests, it looks like, that you do 13 hours a day of a minimum of 250 steps. And that obviously gets you to a fair amount of steps during your day. Amazingly difficult when you go from one meeting to another to do those. So now I'm checking on myself. Have I done 250 steps this hour? If I haven't, I try and get a quick run around the house to try and get close to it. So I think there's got to be an awareness of the differences in working from home. Also, there's pressure on your family if they're not working and you are, because you suddenly have invaded their space. Yep. And turned it into an office. So I think there has to be a sensitivity around that.
I think especially when you find that you're putting in really long hours that you wouldn't normally do. You'd usually come home, have dinner, and then maybe carry on working later. Now it's easier just to stay put.
Yes. And so to kind of get those guidelines in place for you and your family and for your children, because again, they see you at home if you've got young children and they think, well, you know, mom's home, dad's home. And it's difficult to get them to understand that this is now that you are actually living at work. And so I think that's a really important part to create the right structure and to not damage relationships through all of this.
Thanks, Teryl.